Hello guys, welcome to part 8 of our building a MERN Job Board application tutorial, and in this part we're going to be looking at integrating our front-end to backend. So we'll notice the lines here below in index.js file which are responsible for integrating the front-end and the backend. So this line here first tells our backend where it can find the source code for our front-end by telling it to go to the client build folder, which we have by running the npm run build command. And we use this front end and we use it as the static code for our application. Our application is our Express app, so we can see it here. This is the code in index.js file, and we declare our Express application here, and then we tell it to use the front end from our React front end here. So these are the lines which are responsible for integrating our front end with our back end. So we have already added them. So the next part is for us to use version control in order to keep track of the changes that we make to our application, and also push our code changes to our online repository, as we've been working locally all this while. So in our git ignore, we want to make sure that the build folder is ignored, as we don't want to push this to production, as we don't want to push this to our GitHub repository online or our remote repository, since the build is unnecessary in the sense that it has code that has been already included in the source file, in the source folder. So we'll need to add this in our git ignore. So yeah, let's do that now. So you can leave it, but it's not efficient. You'll be increasing the bundle size of your application for no apparent reason. So that's the reason why we add the build folder to our git ignore, so that we keep our application lean. Okay, so you can just uncomment this line here. And as you can see, the build folder is no longer included in our git files that need to be tracked. It's now untracked basically. So for the next step, we'll need to add all the files that we added to our main stack application. So for that, we can run this command git add-a in our root folder of the project. Please remember, we are now working in the root folder, not the... Okay. So yeah. Let me just navigate. I just wanted to make sure I'm one of those guys. Okay, so we've run git add. So as you can see here, the files have been added. The new files that we added have now been added to our GitHub, to our Git, they are now being tracked. And then for the commit message, we can just have this added job files message. So we have now committed our files, and as you can see here in VS Code, it worked. And the last command we want to run is to push our changes to our remote repository. Okay, we're getting an unauthorized. Let's try push it from VS Code in this case. Okay, so I've rectified the reason why I was getting this error. I was using my other GitHub account. So if you're using one GitHub account throughout this tutorial, you shouldn't face this problem. So I'll just run the last command again to push to the remote. And as you can see, it is pushed nicely. So we will just check here in our repository. It should start the build again. Sorry, let's first check in our, okay, we can just check here, it's fine, because Code Capsules has continuous deployment, so every time it detects a push to the main branch here, it will automatically rebuild the application. So we'll just wait for it to finish building, and when it has finished building, our application should be updated to reflect the job board. Currently, there's this MERN stack application, the boilerplate MERN stack application we deployed in part 1 of this series. But after the build is finished, we are expecting to see the job board that we've been extending locally. So I'll pause the video and resume when it has finished building the job board. Okay, our capsule has finished building the changes we deployed. We pushed to our main branch earlier here. As you can see, it now displays a connected to database message as well as a service running. So we can go ahead and visit the live website. And as you can see, we now have the job board on our production URL. It's no longer on a local. So that's it, guys. This concludes the end of the series on building a MERN job board. Till next time, take care.